deep dive. We're always excited to jump into fascinating topics and really pull out the key insights for you. Today, we're looking at Juneteenth, the holiday maybe many of us are still, learning more about. And it holds this really surprising historical twist, our mission. To unpack why freedom was delayed by 2.5 years for thousands of enslaved people in Texas and, well, explore the holiday's legacy.
That's right, and it is fascinating because on June 19th, 1865, you have Union Major General Gordon Granger arriving in Galveston, Texas. He issues General Order Number 3. And this isn't like a suggestion. It's the Union Army, boots on the ground, making freedom enforceable, finally bringing the Emancipation Proclamation's promise right into Texas. This order declared freedom for over 250,000 enslaved black people there.
Wow.
Now, think about it. That date, June 19th, 1865, is a full 2.5 years after President Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation, January 1st, 1863.
2.5 years.
Yeah. So the big question, the really interesting part is why? Why that huge agonizing delay?
That gap is just immense, isn't it?
Yeah.
It really underlines that freedom wasn't like flipping a switch for everyone. So, okay, can you break down the specific reasons? Why did the Emancipation Proclamation just free everyone right then and there?
Absolutely. Well, the proclamation itself, while huge, legally only applied to states in rebellion against the Union and, crucially, areas not already under Union control. Texas was, well, it was in a unique spot. Geographically, it was pretty remote from the main fighting, and Union troop presence was very light there for most of the war.
Oh, okay.
So it became this sort of perceived safe haven. You had slaveholders actually fleeing to Texas from other southern states as Union forces advanced, and they brought enslaved people with them. So slavery didn't just persist in Texas, it actually expanded in some ways during the war.
Wow, expanded.
Yeah, until Confederacy effectively collapsed and Union troops like Granger's could finally arrive in sufficient force to, actually enforce the proclamation. So for 2.5 years, freedom was a legal reality on paper for many, but just unreachable for those trapped in Texas.
That really paints a picture of the challenges, the sheer difficulty of enforcement back then.
Yeah.
Knowing that that context of delay makes you think about the moment the news finally arrived. What was that like? How did Juneteenth celebrations even start?
Well, the very next year, June 19th, 1866, you see the first Juneteenth celebrations kicking off in Texas. And those early ones, they were deeply meaningful, a mix of, relief, probably some mourning, but also incredible joy. They involve things like prayer meetings, singing spirituals, powerful expressions of hope, and sharing festive meals, community, reunion. It really quickly became this deeply rooted tradition in Black communities, particularly in the South, symbolizing not just freedom, but resilience, family reunifications after being torn apart, and this powerful cultural pride.
So really grassroots.
Yeah.
Forged right there from hardship and hope. How did this incredibly important day then sort of evolve and spread out across the country?
Right. Well, it started spreading more widely with the Great Migration, starting in the 1870s, going through the early 1900s. Black Texans moved to other parts of the U.S., and they took their traditions, including Juneteenth, with them. Then maybe the 1920s, 30s, you see it becoming a bit more commercialized sometimes, centered around big food festivals, things like that. It adapted.
Okay.
But then significantly in the 1960s and 70s, during the civil rights and Black Power movements, there was this real resurgence of interest. Juneteenth got reframed as a potent symbol of Black liberation, that ongoing struggle for justice. And then you have key milestones like Texas making it an official state holiday in 1980, the first state to do so.
Right.
And then, of course, the big one in 2021 becoming a federal holiday, the first new federal holiday since Martin Luther King Jr. Day back in '83.
That evolution is really something. It's like you said, almost America's second Independence Day in many respects.
Yeah.
So what does that look like today? For us, for the listener, what's the cultural significance now?
Today, Juneteenth traditions are really rich, very varied, but they carry so much of that original spirit forward. You'll often find public readings of the Emancipation Proclamation, people singing spirituals, singing Lift Every Voice and Sing, big family reunions, parades, cookouts, they're all common.
And the red foods, right. I've heard about that.
Exactly. That's a really interesting and symbolic part. The red foods, strawberry soda, red velvet cake, watermelon. It's not just festive color. It's often interpreted as representing the bloodshed and sacrifice of ancestors, but transformed into this vibrant symbol of resilience, of joy, of an unbreakable spirit. It's a powerful connection to that hard-won freedom.
That symbolism is incredibly powerful. But it feels like it's more than just celebration, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's maybe a deeper call here, something about reflection that applies to all of us.
Absolutely. It's not just a celebration. Juneteenth really invites reflection on the unfinished work, the ongoing pursuit of real freedom and justice. It's a crucial time to honor Black history, yes, but also to acknowledge the systemic inequities that, well, still exist. And hopefully to inspire continued civic action. Like the historian Daryl Heller said, Juneteenth reminds us even the end of the Civil War didn't guarantee freedom for everyone.
That really sticks with you.
It does. It's a day to really grapple with what that means.
Well, what a journey we've covered. From that shocking delay in freedom in Texas, all the way to a national day of remembrance, action, and profound meaning.
Indeed. And maybe it leaves us, and you listening, with a thought to chew on. Think about how that spirit of Juneteenth, that idea of delayed justice, but also the persistent work for equality, how that resonates today. In all the ongoing efforts for true freedom and equity, it raises that important question, really. What does freedom for everyone truly look like in our world now? And, what more needs to be done to actually achieve it?